GoCore Tracks of Service allow you to use your skill set to make a kingdom difference globally. Serving through the Media and Arts track provides the opportunity to focus on creative content production and the arts as a basis for sharing the gospel, developing relationships, and making an impact. Through multimedia skills, you have the opportunity to empower individuals and organizations to express what God is doing around the world.
Hi, I'm Tori and I live in Malawi, Africa. I've been living in Africa for about a year and a half now. The official language in Malawi is English, so it's not always necessary for me to speak another language, though most Malawians do speak Chichewa. So 3 days a week I'm based at our ministry center just outside the refugee camp where I teach a photography class to refugees and Malawians, where the students are learning just the basics of photography, how to operate a camera in its manual mode, how to compose a good photo, and how to express themselves creatively. And other times I might be painting things around our ministry center. The other days I'm based in our office in Lilongwe, where I might be taking photos from our social enterprise and photos of other events within the organization. When you're considering working overseas or in another culture, it's important to remember to be willing to be flexible, not just with your time, but with your expectations, your ideas, your ways of doing things, and to also constantly seek humility from God, because there are always going to be learning curves and new experiences. So if this is something that interests you and you've been looking for ways to use your creativity and your skill set in media arts in ministry, I encourage you to check out the placement opportunities and see if this is a good fit for you.
So my ministry placement is at a cafe and music venue, and my main job here is to help host and run the open stage. We have an open stage every Wednesday, and so I get to interact with the different artists that come through. And what that looks like is previously helping sign up the musicians, filtering through emails and sign-up lists, and then also creating the list itself. Also doing a little bit of social media, promoting the artists that are going to come every week. And then before the open stage starts, we have a meeting and I go through the rules and what's allowed, what's not allowed. And then I kick off the show by performing some of my own songs every week and then introduce the next artist that's up on stage. One of the things that we value here at the cafe is creating a really welcoming environment. And so it's important for the artists that come through to know that they are valued as people and as musicians. And it's interesting to check out different open mics that are happening in the city and notice that's not a value that they have. And so when musicians come here, they can say, this place is different, I'm valued as a person, and I want to come back because they are welcoming. The ministry here that I do is almost 100% relational, and it's not just me signing up the artists and saying thank you for playing. It's getting to know them in the backstage room. It's asking them questions about their music, what inspires you to write. So the conversations that I have aren't just about music, but they are leaning towards a spiritual conversation topic. And even if the conversation isn't spiritual, it's important for the people to know that I value them and that I enjoy getting to know them. And if it happens to lead into a conversation about prayer or about Jesus, then that's wonderful. I think that one of the things that God's doing here in the city of Berlin is creating a hunger for community within different people groups. And I've seen that here working at the open stage, talking to artists who are longing to be in a musical community. They're longing to have a band. They're longing to have other friends they can share their talents with. And along with a completely different aspect is the church community, the church desiring to have a community for the youth that they can come together and learn more about Christ. Now that I've been here in Berlin for 1 year and I've got some language under my belt and I've learned some of the German culture, I would like to let you know that if you are considering taking an experience to move overseas and use your gifts and talents for the Lord in a different cultural context, that you should do it and you will not have any regrets. And it is not only a great learning experience, learning about different people groups and different cultures, but learning really who God created you to be and learn how to have a relationship with God when everything around you is different. And I'm not going to say it's easy, but it is worth it, and you can do it.